One way that we're trying to provide access to the internet to our students who don't have internet access is by putting Khajiit smart spots in some of our homes in areas where there is no access. So we have students who now have 4G access, and they're able to take home their devices and connect to the internet to get their homework done. And it's a small-scale pilot at this point, but we're now, from the data we've gathered from that project and the families who've told us this has been the most valuable thing that we've done for their children. We've seen a few children succeed in areas they've never succeeded in before. So we have those stories, we have that quantitative data and the qualitative data. So we're ready to move forward with finding a way to expand that project to make sure that all of our students in Richland too can have access to online resources, because we know that even if you have a device with offline resources, you don't have access to all of the research tools that you may need to complete some of your work and to follow your passions. One project that we have been working with for a year or so has been blended learning, and a few of our team members have worked very hard with teachers at different schools to put their content online to make it accessible to students from anywhere, but more importantly to have that classroom environment where the learning is blended and personalized, so that students can go online to work on certain activities, and at the same time the teacher is available as a facilitator to move around the classroom. And as many of you know, there are just many models out there for how to do that, and we've been studying other districts and visiting other people who are doing it on a larger scale to see what the best model is for Richland too. And we do have our innovation team that is working through a lot of the details of how you do that. And so we will be scaling that. We are also very involved in project-based learning in our district, and this year working with Buck Institute to expand project-based learning on a very large scale throughout many of our schools. With blended learning, we've found that teachers obviously need to have a platform to place all their content online and make it accessible for all students. So many teachers have Google Sites, but we're also looking at some other resources. Google Classroom is something we're piloting right now to see if that will enable our students to have a place to collaborate. But in addition to putting content online, we are looking very carefully at resources. We do have online textbook resources that our students have access to, and we're also purchasing resources that we believe will make a difference for students. But more importantly, our teachers have found that students want to hear from them. So our math teachers are actually creating their own math tutorials and videos for students to watch. And they say it makes a difference to have that content created by the teacher, so that the students have that familiar face, then they know that teacher and can go work with that teacher. So resources like Khan are of course very valuable when you're trying to provide some online access, but those teacher created resources are very important. So there's some very important things for our initiative to move us forward. One is making sure that every department in our district is focused on the same vision, and that everything is aligned, and that we're not heaping things on teachers, one-to-one and then Common Core or other standards, and we don't want it to be that type of environment. So we work very hard to work together to make sure we all understand our mission and that we're able to bring all those resources together for the betterment of our student achievement. Another thing that we're doing as a district is evaluating ourselves constantly. We're constantly involved in a process evaluation, and we're also looking at outcome data now. So having your goals aligned to some outcomes and making sure that you measure that, and you constantly along the way look at what can we do better, what can we change. Many folks will bring in an evaluation team at the end, and that's too late to make changes and to help your team. And so I think it's very valuable that we have observation data and surveys and focus group data throughout the year, so that we can continue to make our initiatives better, and that we can meet the needs of our students and our teachers.